In these problems, we are solving what they're calling two-step linear inequalities. These are inequalities because instead of an equal sign, they have a less than or greater than sign. And they're linear because they've got a single variable here just to the first power. So we're going to solve this mostly like we'd solve an equation, something with an equal sign. We want to see where the variable is and then try to get it alone on that side. And what I notice here is that in addition to the variable term 6v, we've got a positive 10 over here. So I'm going to get rid of that by subtracting 10. And the rule with inequalities is the same as it is with equations. You have to do the same thing to both sides. So I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides to keep everything balanced. Here, 10 minus 10 is 0. So that just leaves 6v. I've got my less than. And then negative 20 minus 10 is negative 30. And the last step here is, well, the v, the variable, is multiplied by 6. So we've got to undo that by dividing by 6. But of course, I have to do that to both sides. Here, the 6's cancel because 6 divided by 6 is 1, and 1 times v is v. And negative 30 divided by 6 is negative 5. So we get v is less than negative 5. I think I'm going to switch to a brighter color here for the next one. All right. This one is slightly more complicated, but we're going to do the same process. The w is our variable here. It's over on the right, and I've also got this other term, this negative 1. That's the one I want to get rid of first, so we're going to add 1 to both sides. So that gives me 20, and then we've got less than or equal to, and then I've got negative 5w. Now the next thing we're going to do is get that w alone by undoing the multiplying by a negative 5. There is a rule you need to remember when dealing with inequalities, and that's this. If you divide or multiply an inequality by a negative, you have to flip the inequality symbol. So if we're going to divide both sides by negative 5, this thing gets flipped in the other direction. So let's write that out. We've got, well, 20 divided by negative 5 is negative 4. Then we flip this to the other direction. So we have greater than or equal to. And then negative 5 divided by negative 5, that just cancels out and leaves w. And then traditionally, we would write these inequalities with the variable first. So this is kind of backwards. You can just read it this way and rewrite it. And if I read it from right to left, it says w is less than, because the smaller side is pointing to the w. So w is less than or equal to negative 4. So that is some work with solving these linear inequalities.